Welcome to St. Louis, Missouri, home of the St. Louis Gladiators, welcoming in today's opponents, the Queen City Corsairs, in Week 2 of Season 16 of the Simulation Football League. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. The Duval boys are back in the house, alongside my best friend, Cade Stevens. My name is Eric Vincent. Cade, both these teams 1-0 coming out of Week 1, but they had shaky starts to start things off.
Yeah, both teams showing resilience in Week 1, coming out with victories on both sides, but not easy victories. A lot to prove for both the Queen City Corsairs and St. Louis Gladiators here tonight, Eric.
And St. Louis is going for 3 in a row against the Corsairs. Season 14 and Season 15 they played, and they both got victories in both of those seasons there. Queen City getting their 100th franchise victory just a week ago against our Fort Worth Toros. We're not happy about that.
No, I can't say
looking to get another victory here today. One team's going to go 2-0, the other falling to 1-1. St. Louis will kick the football off and do us the honors here at home.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be pretty telling to the trend. You know, both, like I said, both teams struggled in Week 1, came out with a victory anyways, and whoever pulls it off today, I believe it's going to give you a better indication on what to expect for the season from each team.
Queen City returning the football out of its own end zone, and they will bring it up close to the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 19. Christopher Ochoa with the return. And A.J. Caswell, in his 9th season in the league, all with the Corsairs, comes out to lead the troops. And he had a bit of a shaky start last week. Still got the dub, but we'll have to see what happens here on his first offensive possession.
Yeah, no touchdowns and 2 giveaways for A.J. Caswell last week. He'd like to forget about that one pretty early in this game.
Jet Zero going to get the early handoff, and he goes nowhere. They're going to mark him for no gain, and we'll get a look at the Queen City offense. Jet Zero at running back, just saw him. A.J. Caswell, we mentioned him as well at quarterback. Hubba Kimbrell, the fullback. Deezer Powell, Christopher Ochoa, and Chris Curtis, the wide receivers. And the ever-dangerous James Matthew Jr. at tight end in his 4th season with the Corsairs. Brings up second down. Caswell from the gun, steps up, under pressure, and he's going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line, big loss of 8 yards, and the St. Louis defense is humming early.
Oh, yeah, wasted absolutely no time right there. Getting to the quarterback is Rodney Panani, getting back in there. 11 tackles in his Week 1 performance last week, and already getting in the backfield to sack A.J. Caswell.
And the Corsairs are already getting back up to the line on this 3rd and long. Caswell to throw, short drop. He's going to throw it over the middle, and that's caught. Close to a first down. That was James Matthew Jr. with the catch, but he's going to be just a couple yards short, and it's going to be a 3-and-out for Queen City.
Yeah, I have to say I do admire the hurry-up offense right there on 3rd and long to try to get back up and just take advantage of the middle of the field. And Queen City, unfortunately, comes up just short. Special teams unit back out on the field. They're going to give this ball to St. Louis, who forces a 3-and-out on the first drive.
Greg Morrison, the punter, some pressure in his face, gets the football away. Fielded at about the 35-yard line. They'll give him a couple yards out to the 38. And that is where the Gladiators will take over for their first possession. Christian Brown, the 2nd-round draft pick out of the Birmingham Fuel, coming out to lead the troops. And St. Louis has had kind of a quarterback carousel here in the past few seasons, but he had himself a good game, a good debut in the pros last week.
Yeah, he definitely did, completing 27-39, 296 yards, 69% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 2 giveaways, to be expected as a rookie to make a couple mistakes, and unfortunately sacked 4 times, and off to a nice little start right there with the swing pass out to the running back.
It's actually one of the extra tight ends. That was Guy Clausen, another 2nd-round pick for this Gladiator team. So rookie-to-rookie connection there. Clausen coming out of Annapolis. And that sets up a 2nd and short for the Gladiators.
This is the way they'd like to get started, too. You got to build a little bit of momentum and comfort with the rookie under center. If you're St. Louis, and a nice little swing pass to start the game, that's the way to do it right there.
5-step drop, under pressure, and he's going to go down. Digger Graves, the defensive end, getting in there and wreaking havoc, and that's going to be a 6-yard loss, setting up 3rd and long.
Yeah, Digger Graves, nice move to start, and unfortunately, I believe if you are Christian Brown, you're wanting to get rid of that ball just a little bit sooner. Unfortunately, the offensive line not giving you a ton of time to do so. Graves takes him down.
Play action, and Brown's going to go down again. Then this defensive line for Queen City is very impressive. Getting into the backfield once again, back-to-back sacks, and that's going to be a 3-and-out for the Gladiators.
Wow, I mean, what a start, really, if you think about it. That was we talked about building a little bit of comfort and consistency with the quarterback, and the defensive line of Queen City after first down didn't give them an opportunity at all. You know, they had the SFL's leading sack leader last season, season 15, Jeff Duffy, 19 and a half sacks, and I have to imagine a lot of emphasis if you're St. Louis is on slowing him down, and that really opens up a lot of windows for some other guys. You saw that on the last drive.
Big hit there on the punt from Graham Northrup. And Queen City's return goes absolutely nowhere. They'll get another crack at the football, so both teams trading 3-and-outs. Queen City with much more favorable field position here on this next possession from the 32-yard line with just under 8 minutes to go here in the opening frame. Caswell sets up empty in the gun. He's got 3 wideouts towards the bottom of the formation. Caswell will throw over the middle. Tipped into the air, picked off. St. Louis has a convoy going the other way. And I think that's Rodney Panani with the football. He's going to get tackled right at the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, St. Louis.
Yeah, Panani has been a hot name so far in this game, coming up with a sack on the first drive and an interception off of a tip on the first pass of the second drive, making his name known so far. Great return for St. Louis, and they are set up in fantastic field position off the turnover by Rodney Panani.
My, have the tides have turned.
You are not kidding, my friend. You are not kidding. Wow, just a strange turn of events so far in this game.
We are no strangers to that, calling the Baltimore game last week, where there was just a little bit of everything. The Baltimore-Arizona game.
Definitely.
Handoff, Kyra Martinez sidesteps the defender, makes it into the end zone. What a run there by Kyra Martinez. Touchdown, St. Louis.
Wow, I mean, quite honestly, it looked like he made a move very early on in the run to avoid a defender who didn't even touch him, wasn't even touched until he hit the half-yard line. Broke the tackle anyways. Kyra Martinez finds his way into the end zone for his first touchdown of the season.
He took about 3 sidesteps there at the half-yard line. You called it, Kate. It was just a little funny to see, and no one touched him. He just waltzed on into the end zone untouched for the first score of the ballgame.
Yeah, fantastic job. I mean, I say we. I mean, I harped on the offensive line just a little bit on the last drive. Pass protection wasn't very good, and on the first rushing attempt of the game for St. Louis, they opened a hole so wide that, wow, I mean, if they were at their own 5-yard line, he might still be going.
Amy Shalizzi adds the extra point, makes it a 7-0 ball game. St. Louis with a 1-play, 10-yard drive. Capped off with that lone rushing touchdown there for Kyra Martinez. Gives the Gladiators a 7-0 lead with 7:46 to go here in the opening quarter. And Shalizzi is ready to go here for the next kickoff. Fielded by Ochoa deep in his own end zone. He's going to take a knee, bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, probably safe bet right there. And, boy, if you're Queen City, Eric, I have to imagine you'd like to get a little something going on this drive, even if it's just a mildly sustained drive. But as quick as St. Louis was able to take advantage of the turnover on the last one, boy, you got to make something happen here.
Yeah, it kind of puts your foot to the fire a little bit. Caswell starts off under center. Quick handoff to Jets 0. Finds a little bit of a hole. And that's good for 3 yards. We'll get to the St. Louis defense. Todd Dubstat, Tom Tanner, Igor Barbatov, the defensive line there. Rodney Panani, Mark Groneck, and Tony Roberto, the linebackers. Freeman Peltier, the longtime Gladiator. Drew Riley, the corners. Zach Holdorf, Gerald Winkler, Colin Douglas, and Nicholas Warner, the safeties, rounding out the defensive backfield for St. Louis. Second down now for the Corsairs. Caswell throws it over the middle to a crossing route. That's caught. Deezer Powell with his first catch, and he will make it out close to the first down marker at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, and who else was there for the tackle? But the man of the hour so far himself, Rodney Panani. Nice stick right there. Third and short coming up for Queen City. And this is, I hate to say it, very early on, kind of a big third down for him.
Caswell, 5-step drop, wide open man at the bottom of the formation. That was Powell, and he's going to move those chains for Queen City out to the 37.
Yeah, great catch by Deezer Powell in his second season here in Queen City, and been a very valuable asset for them in his time so far. Yeah, pretty solid week last week, 10 catches, 89 yards, averaged just under 14 yards per reception, but kept out of the end zone as Caswell did not throw a touchdown last week.
And Caswell is set in the gun. He's got 0 sidecar right. Caswell the throw, good pocket, throws it over the middle, caught, first down yardage. And that is Christopher Ochoa with the catch. And he will move those chains out to the 47, getting close to opponent territory.
Yeah, and Eric, this is exactly what I was talking about as far as getting some sort of sustainment down as far as an offensive drive, especially coming off the turnover, and a fantastic job so far by Queen City. The play calling has been great. AJ Caswell very quickly forgetting the mistake that he made on the previous drive and making some really nice throws here so far.
Well, and they caught them in a zone defense there, had slants called, and that's an easy pitch and catch there. Uh, Ochoa just did the rest. 7-step drop. Caswell wants it all. He's got
Wide
a
open.
man! Wide open! Touchdown! Queen City!
Wow, what a throw. What a lob over the top. Chris Curtis, I'd like to see the replay here, I believe, made a really nice move off of the defender playing press on the on the line of scrimmage, gets behind the defense and Peltier there, and Curtis off to the races as AJ Caswell very quickly recognizes what happens, throws the ball up, and a easy pitch and catch for a touchdown for Queen City.
Yeah, and that's the veteran there. Freeman Peltier, you don't see that happen too often for him. And he just got roasted off the line by Chris Curtis. And that's an easy pitch and catch from Caswell to Curtis. Big time play, big time touchdown.
Yeah, not sure. Like I said, if there was just some confusion at the line of scrimmage for Peltier, but wow, great move by Chris Curtis getting behind the defense, and even better job by AJ Caswell immediately recognizing what had happened.
5 plays, 80 yards, 53-yard passing touchdown from Caswell to Curtis. And that evens the ball game up at 7 here in the opening frame. Want to let you know over on the 11 Sports Network, we've got the Jacksonville Kings visiting the Florida Storm. Jacksonville holding a slim lead in the second quarter there. Certainly want to check that out if you have the time as well. But don't go away from this game. We got a good one here as St. Louis brings it out to the 22-yard line, and that is where they will start this next possession off. Elsie Mondavi with the return. And okay, they got to respond here. They had themselves a good turnover, capitalized off the turnover, and Queen City fired back right away.
Yeah, I'd really like to see if St. Louis can take this one down the field. As you very well remember here, Eric, they had a very short field on the last drive and made short work of it, but haven't faced or haven't made anything out of a little bit of a longer drive situation so far in this game. So Queen City faced with that task on the last drive, made mincemeat of it, and it is St. Louis's turn to respond.
Brown starts things off with a catch to Phil Koss. That's a 6-yard gain out to the 28 as we hit the 5.5-minute mark here in the opening quarter. Brown going to be under center. He's got Martinez as the lone back. Cairo Martinez with another carry. He's got a rushing touchdown already and a first down to boot. Out to the 34-yard line. We'll get a look at this Gladiator offense. Christian Brown, the quarterback. Cairo Martinez, the running back. Bill Cherry, the fullback. Eagle Mondavi and Phil Dilivo, the wide receivers. And Phil Koss and Guy Clausen, the tight ends. As we've seen a little bit of everybody here on this Gladiator offense. 1st and 10 from the 34. Brown throwing it over the middle, caught, but it's fumble balls on the turf, and I think St. Louis got back on top of it. Bill Dilivo able to jump back on it, and that's going to be a 2nd and short coming up.
Yeah, great job getting back on top of the football by Dilivo as it came out and unfortunately had a hard time locating it. I see Queen City challenging possession before the fumble. We'll see how that one works out. But, I got to say, the way They've only run the football just a couple of times, and each time that they have, they've been highly successful. Keep going back to the air. And once again on this one, nice throw right here, though. I mean, Christian Brown
Yeah,
doing a fantastic job. Anticipation spot on, hitting the receiver as he crosses behind the defender. But yeah, we'll see how this one comes back, Eric.
yeah, I feel this might be a challenge they're going to lose here, and Eric Barkley is hot on the sidelines as that was ruled a completed pass and a fumble. So that's going to be a timeout that is lost for the Corsairs on that challenge. So they'll have 2 remaining here in the first half. Seemed pretty evident just watching in real time that it was actually a fumble.
Yeah, it seemed like it. Maybe it was something that he felt like needed to be disputed. But yeah, as we saw it in real time, like you said, Eric, I just didn't quite see maybe the same thing. But we also have a little bit of a different view from up here in the booth.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. As Martinez gets a handoff and the D line gets in there and makes a stop. That was actually Sean Moore, the outside linebacker, getting in there with the stop. And we'll get to the Corsair stars on defense here quickly. Jeff Duffy, Digger Graves, David Tilley, Tina Begin on the defensive line, Jared Crow, Sean Moore, Ajumu Afalabi at linebacker, Pharaoh Reigns and Ted Haynes the corners, King Jamal, Albert Begin, and Kappa Jones, these safeties as Martinez gets a handoff and he finds a hole for first down yardage out to the 46-yard line. Move those chains for St. Louis.
Absolutely fantastic job by Martinez. That cannot be undersold on a third and a long three right there as they hand the ball to him. Very nearly hit in the backfield, makes a nice move cutting to the right, and gets past the first down marker to keep this drive alive for St. Louis.
So St. Louis starting to get a little bit of momentum here on offense as Brown sets up under center. He's got time. He'll sling it over the middle, and that could have been an
Oh,
easy interception. I am not sure why they didn't come away with that one. And Brown, I think, got a little happy feet sensing the pressure there, kid.
I believe he did, and Afalabi is just absolutely kicking himself. Maybe the easiest interception of his entire career as that one comes right to him and has an opportunity to pluck that one out of the air. Unfortunately, cannot come up with it, and St. Louis lives to fight another down.
2 backs behind Brown. He's going to sling it out towards the far sideline. Caught, wrapped around the ankles. And is the receiver out to the 46-yard line. 3rd and 4. Catch made by Guy Clausen.
Yeah, nice catch there by Guy Clausen, bringing that one in. Very nearly broke out of the tackle, and he ends up getting caught by the ankles, as you said there, Eric, and brought down. But 3rd and 4, much more manageable than 3rd and 10.
Only incompletion of the game so far has been Caswell's interception, along with that Brown incompletion a little bit earlier. Brown's going to throw it again, and broadcaster's curse right there. That was an incompletion out to one of the extra tight ends. Actually, yeah, that was one of the extra tight ends, Charlie Northrup, the intended receiver. It ends up being 4th down, and St. Louis going to have to punt.
Just had to bring that one up, Eric. That's
I'm
all
sorry,
right.
man. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mean, a solid pass, tried to get it out there anyways. Just defended extraordinarily well by Queen City, and St. Louis punts this one back.
Northrup with another punt, trying to pin Quinn City back, and a good backspin there on the football. That's going to be downed right at about the 6-yard line. Actually, they'll mark it at the 5, and Queen City is going to have a long way to go to hit pay dirt on this next possession.
Yeah, great punt and great punt coverage on that one to pin them deep. And yeah, that defense is going to be pinning their ears back a little bit here. I fully expect to see Queen City try and run the football to gain a little bit of extra space.
Got bunched receivers towards the bottom of the formation. Handoff to Jet Zero. Plows through a defender right at the line of scrimmage and gets extra yardage out to the 9.
Yeah, nice run by Jet Zero right there. 4 yards, I mean, in this situation is a big deal. And it's been a lot of fun to see Jet Zero, kind of mature and grow through his career. This is his 3rd year in the SFL, 3rd year with the Queen City Corsairs. Unfortunately, not a great start to the season for him. 20 carries, they held him pretty much in check last week, only 45 yards, averaging just 2.3 yards per carry. Did get 2 touchdowns on the ground, though. Very solid scoring stat for him.
Well, and he bobbles the ball coming out of the backfield there, and that falls incomplete, bringing up a 3rd down. And Jet Zero is going to have to get going before too terribly long. Caswell, no spring chicken, out there running the offense, and he would definitely prefer a running game to lean on as he comes out with 5 wideouts here in this formation under center. Caswell going to shuffle in the pocket, throws it over the middle, caught. First down yardage out to the 24-yard line. Christopher Ochoa with another catch, and Caswell has been slinging it all over the yard here today in the first quarter.
Oh yeah, man, he's making plays happen. You know what was really impressive about that is Caswell drops back, as you can see right here, almost as if the pocket was supposed to roll, but very quickly saw that Christopher Ochoa was open and tried to sling that one in there in a very small window. Does a fantastic job, does AJ Caswell, completing that pass to Christopher Ochoa, and a first down. They're going to move those chains.
Setting up at the 24-yard line after getting the first down. Zero, the lone running back. Caswell is going to sling it out to Jet Zero's way. He's got some room, and he's going to make it out to the 29-yard line, gain of 5. Good joint tackle there by Drew Reilly and Mark Roenick.
Yeah, they're gonna keep Jet Zero a big part of this offense, whether it be through the air or on the ground. You saw him drop one swing pass already in this game. That's not what they're looking for, but they're gonna get this. They're gonna get the rhythm going with this kid here this evening.
Single back formation once again. Zero with the handoff, met right at the line of scrimmage, and this time he's going nowhere. Good, that was a good tackle there made by Tony Roberto. His 3rd season in the league, met him right in the hole.
Oh yeah, absolutely ready for him, and a great read by him, Tony Roberto. That is getting back there and making that.
Getting a look at Caswell's numbers so far, over 100 yards here in the opening quarter with under a minute to go. He's got 3 wideouts towards the top of the formation on this 3rd and 5. Caswell going to throw it towards the bottom of the formation. Deezer Powell making the catch and moving up to the 40-yard line. It seems like this drive has been going on for a long time, and they just haven't made a whole lot of headway.
Yeah, not a lot of headway, but yeah, you're right. They've done a good job controlling possession on this particular drive, and Deezer Powell coming up with another big catch for him.
Well, and they also started off at the 5-yard line. I should give them a little bit of slack for that.
This is also very true.
Caswell going to sling it sidearmed, and it's incomplete. We do have a penalty flag on the play. Gronek was out there in coverage, and I think they might flag him for some pass interference.
Yeah, they might get him. Not sure I saw the same thing, but it looks like that's what they're going to get him for, Eric.
Yep, and they are going to call it on Gronek. That's going to be an easy accept of the penalty for Queen City, and that'll be a first down for the Corsairs. I'm kind of with you, Cade, watching it in real time. Maybe kind of tangled up with them a little bit, but certainly nothing malicious.
No, I don't think it was anything malicious at all. I would have loved to have seen that one rolled back, and I'm sure the officials might have thought the same thing. But yeah, in real time, as you said, Eric, maybe a tangle up at max, but they'll have to roll with it, and St. Louis will have to adjust.
From midfield, Queen City, another open man as Caswell finds him out across the 36-yard line. That's James Matthew Jr. with the catch, moving those chains once again.
Yeah, good job by so far this Queen City game plan on offense has been attack the middle of the field for St. Louis, and they are not struggling to do that at all. At least every couple of plays, they're getting right over the middle with the tight ends and receivers and completing passes. And yeah, I mean, if you're St. Louis, you got to adjust.
Quick first quarter is in the book, 7-7 your score, but Queen City is driving. They will kick off the second quarter of action here in just a moment. You're watching the Simulation Football League live on Twitch. As Queen City breaks the huddle, you got to look at James Matthew Jr. heading out to his tight end spot, securing the catch on that last play and giving the Corsairs a first down. As we flip the sides of the field, Caswell under center with Zero, the lone back, offset. He's hit as he's thrown, and
wow.
It's still complete. Still complete out to Chris Curtis. Johnny on the spot, and he'll get some yardage out of that, out to about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, what a heads-up play from Chris Curtis, snagging that football out of the air just before it's potentially intercepted and actually making something happen. So potentially instead of a turnover, they are now looking at a 2nd and 4. Nice heads-up play there by Curtis.
I believe that was only his 2nd catch of the ball game as Zero plunges ahead for about 1.5 yards.
Yeah, just
again, good tackle there made. Go ahead, kid.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with you there. Yeah, just the 2nd catch minus the one big play we saw from him earlier for the touchdown.
And Tony Roberto making another clutch tackle there in the trenches, bringing up a 3rd and short. Caswell under center, turnaround handoff to Zero, who will get first down yardage, and he'll make it out to the 20-yard line. Into the SFL red zone we go. Queen City with the first set of downs.
Yeah, they're starting to get a little bit of rhythm here. And Jet Zero chomping away in between the tackles right here, doing a fantastic job. And boy, he's not easy to take down solo, as displayed right there on that run. Fantastic job by him as the strong safety Nicholas Warner came in, tried to make the tackle, and went for a ride.
Another handoff to Zero, and gets through the first defender, but gets gang tackled by Rodney Panani at about the 17-yard line, gain of 3. And Cade, it's been a lot of dink and dunk. It's been mixing up the run with the short pass, and you're right, they've been working the middle of the field quite a bit here.
And you know what, Eric, that sets up for later in the game, as I'm sure St. Louis will start to anticipate that they continue to do something like that, a play action deep. Look for that as the game goes on.
Caswell quickly slings it out to Deezer Powell on the sideline, and he drags those tiptoes, some toe drag swag, out to the 13-yard line, 3rd and short coming up for the Corsairs.
Yeah, Deezer Powell been a big, integral piece of the Queen City offense so far in this game, and once again showing his ability to attack the football with his hands on that nice little out route, and a good little throw there from A.J. Caswell.
He's going to be under center here with Zero, the lone back. Caswell going to throw it to the far sideline, caught by Deezer Powell. Oof. Good stiff arm there as he's ushered out of bounds at the 7-yard line, sets up 1st and goal for the Corsairs.
Yeah, Deezer Powell putting a man in the dirt with that arm right there. That was a mean stiff arm. I'm sure we'll. That's not the last time we'll see that one.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. From the 7, Queen City looking to take the lead here. Haven't had the lead at all this ball game. Snap taken, it's a Caswell sneak, and man, the defensive line was ready for that one. Actually, it was Tony Roberto. He's been around that line of scrimmage all game long and just sniffing out those runs, Gabe.
Yeah, he's been extraordinarily disruptive so far in this game, and that should come as no surprise to anybody. Highly consistent in that field. Last week, man, 6 tackles, 1 for a loss, and a pass defense off of that defensive line.
And it's thrown and picked off. Caswell in the red zone throws it right to Freeman Peltier, and he redeems himself off of that Curtis bomb from earlier.
Oh, he sure did, Peltier. Yeah, I'm sure he's excited to have that one, man. His first interception of season 16. Good job reading the quarterback's eyes, going up and taking that football away deep in the red zone. Does Queen City turn it away? Wow, what a bummer if you're them after quite the drive.
Man, and that was a long drive. That was a 16-play drive, Cade, and they capped it off with an interception. That's a heartbreaker there for Queen City.
Most definitely.
Brown from his own end zone. He's going to throw it, and he picked it off. Going back the other way is Queen City. What is happening right now? Interception made by, I think it was Sean Moore, the outside linebacker, getting the interception.
Yeah, the rookie 2nd-round pick out of Ottawa, Sean Moore, takes that one right back from St. Louis as Christian Brown makes the mistake of throwing it right into his mitts. And, wow, I guess you can go ahead and erase the initial interception by Peltier, as it appears they're almost exactly where they were to begin with.
Jeez Louise, back and forth we go. Caswell gets another opportunity, and he's just going to hand it off to Jet Zero. And Peltier maybe a little bit angry with his offense for handing it right back to him. Makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Oh yeah, he was ready. He was ready for Caswell to try to toss it back out his way again, and doing the right thing does the Queen City Corsairs offense. Just went ahead and handed that ball to Jet Zero on that last play. I expect to see something similar to that again here.
Instead, Caswell will throw. He throws it far sideline, a little too high, as he was looking for Deezer Powell again, and that falls incomplete. 3rd and goal coming up.
Yeah, Powell had to come back to that one, and unfortunately could not get the elevation to get up to the ball, at least in a way where he could make a substantial attempt at it, and the ball falls to the turf, harmlessly for them, for Queen City, a little bit of sigh of relief.
Caswell under center on 3rd and goal. He's going to take a 7-step drop. Good pocket, shuffling around, and eventually he's going to go down. Back at the 13-yard line, the pocket just collapsed all of a sudden. And man, oh man, big sack made by the defensive front there for St. Louis. Mo Biggins, the defensive tackle.
Yeah, Mo Biggums and Tom Tanner in there as well, the rookie first-round pick for them. But a fantastic job. That definitely a coverage sack by St. Louis. Caswell goes back. His initial couple of reads are not there. Goes to shuffle out of the pocket and is met with brute force from that St. Louis Gladiators defensive line. And Queen City settling for a field goal here.
James Peanut Troll able to knock it through from 29, and it is a 10-7 ball game here in St. Louis. And Cade, I don't care which way you slice it. That's a victory for the Gladiators on defense.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering the turn of events that were just presented right there as Queen City turns the ball over on a Peltier interception, and then right back, do they take it back down to the 5-yard line and have a fresh set of downs and a brand new opportunity, and still cannot punch it in. So yeah, good job by the by the St. Louis defense, standing up and holding them to a field goal there.
Elsie Mondavi making it out to the 24-yard line for the Gladiators, and that's where St. Louis will take over. Christian Brown kicking himself on the sideline after throwing that interception back in their own territory, resulting in the 3 points. But he got a little help from his defense, and he's looking to resolve that situation here on the next possession with 6:44 to go in the half, down by 3. Brown in trouble right away, and he's going to go down. Defensive line got a hell of a push and pushed it all the way back into his own lap.
It certainly appears to me, Eric, that both of these offensive lines so far in this game have struggled with pressure, as both quarterbacks into the turf multiple times so far. And, we're just about halfway through the second quarter. These guys, by the end of the game, appear to be, they might be feeling a little rough.
Team to begin with the sack there. Speaking of the half coming up, we've got Jacksonville up by 4 down in South Florida playing Florida Storm. They are at the half right now over on the 11 Sports Network. Brown throwing it up for grabs and incomplete. Ted Haynes almost had his mitts on it going back the other way. He had the game-clinching interception last week against Fort Worth.
Boy, he sure did. Yeah, I mean, he went up and had the perfect opportunity right there, and unfortunately can't come away with it. I'm not sure if it was the excitement of not realizing that thing was going to be so easily accessible, but unfortunately for him, drops it and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf.
And his boy Kappa Jones had a good shot at it too. I wonder if they were kind of going back and forth at each other, like, "No, I had it. No, I had it."
Yeah, potentially. I mean, if he yelled out, "Hey, I got it," and that scares him as he's in the air, maybe that's why he dropped it.
Brown in trouble again, and he's going to go down again.
Wow.
David Tilley with the sack this time around, and this Queen City defensive front 4 getting in there in a hurry.
Yeah, wasting absolutely no time. And on third down right there, just shredding the offensive line for St. Louis is Tilley, and he gets back there and takes down Christian Brown, who is getting a little beat up at this point on this drive.
Christian Brown in the chat saying that his ribs feel funny. Yeah, I bet they do, buddy.
I could imagine, man. There's no flak jacket that's going to protect you from all that.
No, sir. And Queen City is going to set up with a very positive field position here at the 41-yard line of St. Louis as Northrop not able to get a good punt off. And looks like Caswell favoring maybe a hip himself as he comes back out on the football field.
Hey, listen, I understand. Like I said, both of these guys in the quarterback position have been beat up just a little bit so far in this game as they've faced second and long, third and long over and over. And unfortunately, I mean, that's a nice throw right there.
Yes, sir. Out to Deezer Powell down at the 13-yard line. Man, he just uncorked a cannon there.
He sure did. I mean, if his hip is bothering him, he could have fooled both of us because, wow, he planted absolutely no problem and threw a dart to Deezer Powell over the middle of the field right there.
Yeah, just cocked that thing back and fired it over the middle, and Deezer Powell making a pretty impressive catch, able to stretch out and extend himself to make the catch at the 13-yard line with just about 5 minutes to go here in the opening half. Caswell under center, Jet Zero the lone back. Caswell's going to sling it out to Powell once again, and he's able to get those feet in bounds along the sideline. 7 catches, 66 yards so far for him.
Yeah, I mean, an integral piece of the offensive game plan so far in this first half, and we've not seen the last of him. I fully expect to see a lot more Deezer Powell in this football game.
Caswell striding up to the line, under center, 2 backs in the backfield behind him. It's going to be a handoff to Jet Zero, who gets upended at about the 9-yard line. And no, excuse me, it looks like the 5-yard line, as it's going to be 3rd and short coming up here for the Corsairs.
I wouldn't be too shocked, Eric, quite honestly, to see him run a very similar play once again to try to get Jet Zero up there. But look for the play action here. If you're the St. Louis defense, if those linebackers bite, Queen City, you might have an easy touchdown.
Instead, Caswell's just going to throw it right away, and Powell is just outside of the end zone. He did get enough for the first down, so it's going to set up 1st and goal from the 1. But man, that was an easy touchdown grab that Powell just kind of underestimated there.
I agreed. Yeah, I mean, it was set up beautifully anyways. A very nice route by Deezer Powell as he fakes to the inside, cuts back towards the pylon, unfortunately not able to get the ball over that marker. And I believe this may be a handoff to Jet Zero, who unfortunately, Eric, had a clear path to the end zone and takes a left.
Oh,
and,
you saw that too,
loses
huh?
the yard. Yeah, sure did. Not entirely sure what the thought process was there, my friend, but unfortunately lost a yard for the offense on that one.
Back at the 2-yard line. Yeah, that was a bit of a head-scratcher run by Jet Zero, as big old hole opened up from his offensive line, and he said, nope, no thanks, I'm going to try another way. Caswell throws a floater to the back of the end zone and incomplete. Could not get his feet in bounds. That's going to set up 3rd and goal.
I like the idea behind that. You just have to be so fast because the space in the back of the end zone, as I'm sure we're all very aware, is extraordinarily limited. So if you're going to get the ball and you expect the receiver to be in the back of the end zone, those guys are quick. They got to get behind the defenders. That ball's got to be gone pretty much as soon as you snap the football.
St. Louis faithful on their feet here. Handoff to Zero, and this time he finds pay dirt. Touchdown, Queen City.
Yeah, definitely making up for the decision on 1st down right there. Zero plows ahead and finds his way into the end zone. Queen City getting ready to make this a 10-point game, barring the extra point, and all of a sudden looking to be in command of this football game.
3rd rushing touchdown on the season for Jet Zero, and it's been a struggle for him to get some yardage, as even in this ball game, he's at 11 attempts, 25 yards, and that touchdown. That was a 7-play, 40-yard drive capped off with that touchdown by Jet Zero, as James Peanut Troll looking to add the extra point here to make it a 10-point ball game. Good snap, good hold, kick is up and on the way and through. 17-7 now your score, as Queen City lengthens the lead out to 10 with 3:27 to go here in the opening half. Second half underway in South Florida between the Kings and the Storm. That over on the 11 Sports Network. You want to be sure you check that out as well. And Troll boots it down the field here to LC Mondavi, fielded inside her own 10. Spin move. Good sidestep there and able to make it out to the 30-yard line. Good return there for the Gladiators, setting up shop in good field position.
I mean, hell of an effort, quite honestly, for him right there to get the ball. I mean, just an additional 10 yards for him, but what he went through to get it was pretty impressive. Couple nice moves on that return right there.
It was one of those okay moments, like you kind of saw it develop a little bit, and just unfortunately for Mondavi, dragged down at the 30, as opposed to finding pay dirt for the Gladiators. Brown going to sling it out to Martinez coming out of the backfield. Good spin move, another spin move.
Wow.
A third spin move. And he's able to get close to 1st down yardage. What a play there by Kyra Martinez.
Yeah, nice job by him. I didn't even think he'd gone out of bounds yet, but also we're seeing it from the other side of the field after, I believe, that 2nd spin move. The 3rd one, when he planted his foot, was out of bounds. and they blew the whistle on that one. So a 9-yard gain for him. But I mean, king of the spin cycle on that one. That was quite the sight to behold.
Caswell needing 218 yards passing coming into this ball game to pass Rocco Marconi for 8th all-time in passing yards. He is very close, about 20 yards off of that number. We'll get more of that on the next offensive possession for the Corsairs. Meanwhile, St. Louis showing out a little bit, getting in almost into Queen City territory and moving those chains to Eagle Mondavi.
Yeah, Mondavi having a few words with the defense right there. I'm not sure what the defense had to say to him because he's had his way just a little bit. Yeah, absolutely moving the ball here with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go until halftime.
Brown under center. He's going to check it down right away to Martinez, and he is hit right away. That is Sean Moore, who had an interception early in the ball game. Tackle for loss on that one, 2nd and 11.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle by Sean Moore. Good open field tackle. That's exactly what you want to see from the young linebacker.
I'd see one more play before we hit the 2-minute warning here in the Gateway City. We cutting it close, and he's not going to get it off. 2 minutes to go here in the opening half. St. Louis driving, trying to narrow the gap down by 10. You're watching the Simulation Football League live on Twitch. And a quick break here for the Gladiators as they march right back up to the line. Brown has 2 backs in the backfield for him. On this 2nd and 11, Brown will throw. Pressure coming. Throws it and incomplete. It looked like he had a man, but again, good coverage. Sean Morris had himself a heck of a game, even though it doesn't really show up on the stat column a whole lot.
Yeah, it doesn't show up so much on the stat column, but he's been all over the field. The speed and quickness from him is really showing off why he was drafted where he was drafted and why he was thought of so highly by this Queen City Corsairs organization.
Gladiators on 3rd and long. Brown gonna throw it. Has a man short of the marker, but is gonna get first down yardage. Good catch and run by Phil Koss, able to move the chains, and the clock continues to roll.
Yep, it is ticking away, and a great job on the conversion right there, getting the ball out and just over the first down marker. And, I mean, wow, I'm fairly impressed at that effort right there, Eric, on 3rd down.
I am as well as we hit the 90-second mark to go here in the opening half. St. Louis with 3 timeouts, Queen City with 2. Brown shuffles, hit he's thrown, and it falls incomplete. And again, those 2 defensive tackles, Tina Begin and David Tilley, have been wreaking havoc here today.
Oh, yeah, they're getting pressure from, which is not necessarily a normal situation that you find here with the Queen City defensive line. Most of the time you see the pressure coming from the outside with Jeff Duffy and Digger Graves, but the defensive tackles have been making hay for Queen City in this game.
1:21 frozen on the clock for the Gladiators now on the 2nd and 10. Brown gonna throw it over the middle into coverage and caught. Eagle Mondavi with the catch as they go no huddle here out to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, great contested catch for him, hauling that one in and holding on to it.
Brown will throw again. He's going to uncork one inside the 10-yard line, down to the 5. 1st and goal. Guy Clausen. No, excuse me, that was Phil Dillevo with the catch.
Phil Dillevo, nice guy. I mean, clearly, right now, Christian Brown has got a really nice rhythm going on. If I were them, obviously they don't want to give the ball back to Queen City with too much time on the clock, but the no-huddle working extraordinarily well for them. I might have rushed back up to the offensive line if I were them.
Kyra Martinez with the run, and Tina Begin says, no, sir, you will get nothing and like it as St. Louis burns their first timeout. They will have 2 remaining.
Yeah, fantastic job by Begin there, getting into the backfield untouched to take down Kyra Martinez. But believe me, Eric, I do not believe this is the last we've seen of Martinez in the attempt for St. Louis to get back into the end zone here.
37 seconds frozen on the clock. This is the realm of expertise for Kyra Martinez. We saw him with a 10-yard touchdown run earlier in the ball game. Queen City stacking the box a bit. Martinez with the blitz, gonna throw it in, intercepted. Albert Begin with the interception in the back of the end zone, and that will bring it up to the 20-yard line for Queen City. That's a heartbreaking drive for St. Louis.
Yeah, Albert Begin. I mean, like I understand what I understand they were trying to get the ball there to their big tight infield costs, and unfortunately, Caswell cannot quite, or I'm sorry, unfortunately Christian Brown cannot quite get the ball high enough right there. Great coverage by Albert Begin, who gets his first interception of the season.
33 seconds to go. 2 timeouts for the Corsairs. They're going to try and work this field a little bit more as James Matthew Jr. makes the catch. And looks like they're content going up by 10 into the locker rooms here, kid.
Yeah, that's been, I mean, quite honestly, it's been a couple of times now for St. Louis where they've had really good drives. One, unfortunately, ending as we saw right there in a turnover into the end zone. But they've got to find a way to finish and get in there for 7, Eric.
Caswell, last play of the half, hit as he's thrown, lost one, and incomplete. I think the hit definitely floated the ball just a little bit, as Colin Douglas could have easily picked that one off. I'm not sure if that would have resulted in any points for the Gladiators, but we head into the locker room with the Gladiators down by 10 at home to Queen City. And it's been up and down for both of these teams, but Queen City has responded to adversity a little bit better than the Gladiators.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that, and I think the biggest thing the Gladiators have got to find a way to do in the second half, Eric, is finish. I mean, unfortunately, so far they've not been able to finish drives. They've got some nice sustained drives going, and can't quite get the completion going, and that's cost them, as you can see, down by 10 points. Queen City's done a much better job at finding a way to get down the field and getting the ball into the end zone as they lead 17-7 here at halftime in this game.
And the lone touchdown on the board coming courtesy of Ronnie Panani's interception. He's had a sack and an interception today. And Kyra Martinez with the 10-yard scamper into the end zone. That's the only 7 points on the board for St. Louis. Had opportunities for more, but just couldn't quite cap off the drives like you mentioned, kid.
Yeah, couldn't quite finish, and they'll find a way to do it. I've got belief in the resilience, but so far Queen City has come out and showed that they've wanted this one just a little bit more. They've made some really nice plays on defense, a couple of turnovers, and so far for me, I mean, the interior defensive line, David Tilley, Tina Begin for the Queen City Corsairs, I mean, they've done a fantastic job getting pressure on the rookie Christian Brown, causing him to throw a few errant balls that perhaps he wouldn't have thrown in that situation. And a fantastic job by him. And I got to throw another shout out to, as far as outside linebacker, Mr. Sean Moore, the rookie, making some nice plays for Queen City's defense in the first half.
And Caswell, as you see him there, thrown for 196 yards in that first half. He is 22 yards away from cracking into the top 8 all-time in passing yards, surpassing Rocco Marconi. So it is certainly an opportunity sitting there for him to move up that career leaderboard.
Oh, I mean, barring some sort of catastrophe in the second half, highly anticipate that being the case. And what a feat that would be. I mean, that's Marconi, someone who's held that spot for quite some time. And what an opportunity coming up here. I fully expect to happen in the second half.
And Queen City will kick the football off to start the second half. Over on our other game on the 11 Sports Network, looks like Florida taking a 3-point lead against the visiting Jacksonville Kings. Once again, that game on the 11 Sports Network, but don't go anywhere. We want you to stay right here for the second half of action as Elsie Mondavi makes it out to the 26-yard line. And that is where St. Louis will take over for their first possession of the second half. And Cade, what is the offensive game plan here for St. Louis to get things back on track?
I mean, if you're St. Louis, they've not run the ball a ton, but when they have, they've had moderate success with Kyra Martinez. I have to imagine that you want to try to build a little bit of a rhythm on the ground and start to build on the pass that way.
And they're going to start things off with Kyra Martinez, who goes absolutely nowhere. Sean Moore getting in there. 3 tackles, 1 for a loss, and an interception earlier in the ball game as well. He's had a pretty good game.
Yeah, he's not wasting any time. Sean Moore, I mean, fantastic job as a rookie, has made his name known uh, quite a bit here in this football game. First half, he tore it up with a takeaway and a couple passes defensed.
Brown going to throw it to the far sideline, caught by Eagle Mondavi as he chops his feet out of bounds out to the 34-yard line. It's going to set up third and short for St. Louis.
I mean, third, fairly attainable. I'd like to imagine for the St. Louis Gladiators. This is actually a pretty big third down. I know it's very early in the third quarter, but building a little bit of momentum here to start this third quarter is um, kind of a big deal for this offense, who unfortunately couldn't finish in the first half.
Brown on third down has a man open. That's going to move the chains. Broken tackle there is Phil Koss as he finally gets stood up around the 45-yard line. First down for St. Louis.
Yeah, nice throw and catch. I mean, Cost, the big tight end, very reliable target for the quarterback. Christian Brown hauls that one in, breaks the tackle, and gets upfield for even more yardage. And now all of a sudden they've got the ball at their own 45-yard line, looking pretty good. This is not unusual for what they've done in the first half. The biggest problem that they've had is once they've got to midfield or a little further, they tend to make mistakes just like that, as Christian Brown very nearly turns this one back over.
I was about to say things like that tend to happen as he was looking for Iko Mondavi. Defender was right there in front of him. Could have easily picked that off going the other way in a hurry.
Yeah,
Ends up second down.
absolutely. Yeah, Afalabi almost took that one away as well. He had one earlier that hit him
Yep.
virtually in the chest, and
Yep.
couldn't take advantage of that one. And if he has it his way, he will get one before this is over.
Brown gonna sidearm it back to Phil Koss and a good gain of 9 out to the 46-yard line of Queen City. And there's a bit of a connection blooming here between Brown and the big tight end.
Yeah, absolutely. And see, Christian Brown, this is what's very exciting about the young rookie, is that sure, he has made his mistakes so far, throwing a couple of picks and very nearly a couple of more, but then he turns around and makes a couple of plays like that where he threads the ball in there for a nice completion, and a lot to build off of for him. He's got a bright future here in St. Louis and in the SFL.
Brown again over the middle. Nice one-handed grab for first down yardage. And that was the other tight end, Guy Clausen, showing off the moves. The rookie drafted out of Annapolis with the one-handed grab.
Yeah, snagged it one-handed. I mean, absolutely fantastic effort for him. Excuse me, couldn't believe it when I saw it. I had something to say and couldn't say it. It was what a catch, Eric. That was pretty impressive.
And Cairo getting some difficulty getting going on the ground here as the Queen City defense has just clamped him shut. As we get a look at both the running backs' numbers, not a whole lot going on the ground here today.
Now, a little bit of success very early on for them, first couple of runs, and after that, both defenses really settled in on stopping the run, and perhaps why we're seeing a lot of focus on the pass for both teams. But it's been a mixed bag both ways.
And there's a good run by Martinez as he surges forward for a gain of 7 out to the Queen City 30. And that's going to set up a third and short for the Gladiators.
Be interested to see if they try to run a similar play, if perhaps they try to take a shot downfield at the 30-yard line. They're in so-so field goal range. It's still going to be a long one, and so you'd like to gain a little bit more yardage.
And right on that run there, Cairo Martinez looking to get first down yardage, and Queen City was ready for it the entire way. David Tilley making the tackle for loss, fourth down.
Yeah, David Tilley, the plays continue to be made from the defensive tackle position for Queen City as Tilley gets in there and makes a massive play to make this quite the long boot here for Amy Shalizzi.
It's going to be a 49-yarder. She nailed one from 51 last week, made both her field goals. Gets a good snap, a good hold, and it is good from 49, so she will narrow the gap to 7 points as St. Louis capitalizes on their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, bangs that one through. Big leg on Shalizzi. She kicks that one through, and St. Louis, one-score game all of a sudden with Queen City. They just got to lean on their defense a little bit on this next drive to try to give them an opportunity.
That was a 10-play, 42-yard drive for the Gladiators. capped off with a 49-yard field goal made by Shalizzy as she boots it down the field. Christopher Ochoa going to field it from his own end zone and bring it out. And he'll make it out to the 21-yard line, a little bit better than a touchback. And that's where Queen City will take over for their first offensive possession of the second half. Being up by 7K, do you think they're really going to change anything, or a lot of the dink and dunk work the middle and mix in some Jet Zero runs?
Yeah, I don't expect to see very much different here from Queen City. It worked for them. It burned a lot of clock, and I expect to see much of the same for them until they have a much more commanding lead than just 7 points.
Caswell gonna gun it though, and it's around and intercepted. That was the strangest interception I've seen in this league, as Drew really is able to come up with the pick, but 3 different Gladiators had their mitts on it.
Yeah, Drew really, the third Gladiators defender to actually touch the football, finally comes up with it and gets the interception. And boy, he looked like as the ball hit him in the hands, I mean, just as he probably felt the same way we did. Hey, where'd this come from? And
Right.
wow, I mean, what a turn of events so far.
Well, and Caswell put some mustard on that one, so I'm thinking maybe that was why it bounced around so much. As Brown is going to throw it, and it doinks off one of his offensive linemen's helmets and falls to the turf. Incomplete. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I think they were trying to set up, a little bit of a screen right there, and the offensive lineman, unfortunately, as he's peeling off to block downfield, gets in the way of where the ball is intended to go, and just doinks him right in the noggin, Eric.
Right in the old hat rack. Second down from the 29. Queen City showing blitz. They'll bring it. Brown gets it away, and it's complete for a short gain out to the 25-yard line. That's Koss with another catch. He's been a big part of this offense here today.
Oh yeah, massive part of it, and he's made some fantastic catches, very contested catches, I guess you could say, Eric. But yeah, he's doing a good job providing a nice security blanket there for the quarterback, Christian Brown, as he's hauled in 5 catches for I believe 38 yards.
Play action. Brown in trouble, and he's going to go down. Coming off the backside the entire way unblocked was a Jumu Afalabi, and he gets in there with the big sack.
Absolutely. I mean, stumbles goes Christian Brown coming out of the play action right there. And Afalabi, as you said, coming off the linebacker blitz. Brown has no idea that he's coming and just gets absolutely drilled in the backfield.
I mean, I saw it the whole way, man. Like, I was, ooh, he's coming. He's coming.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It was hard to miss, but for him who couldn't see it, I'm sure he's wishing he had eyes in the back of his head.
Shalizzy, though, nails a 50-yarder, so she's been good from 49 and from 50 yards and from 51 last week. And she narrows the gap to 4 points here as they capitalize off the turnover. So just slowly chipping away at that wood there, Cade. Down only 4 with 6 minutes to go here in the third.
Yeah, I mean, it went from start of the third quarter down by 10 to all of a sudden it is a 4-point game. So, fantastic job. Although they've not gotten in the end zone, these field goals, they're working. They're getting a little bit closer. So we'll have to see how it plays out. St. Louis has got to play a little bit of defense. I'm sure they'd love another interception right here.
They certainly would, as Ochoa brings it up to the 20-yard line. And Queen City will take over again. They had a very short opening drive here for the second half. Caswell throwing a pick after the tit drill. See if they can respond to that. As Kate, I mentioned it, he just put a little bit of mustard on that and just a little bit of a hot potato for the receiver there. Ends up in the hands of the defenders, excuse me. Caswell going to sling it out to Jet Zero, who tries to throw the stiff arm on Nicholas Warner, who didn't fall for it for a second, and that's going to be a gain of 2.
Yeah, not one bit. Swing pass out of the backfield, and unfortunately not able to get away and tackled down to the turf after just a 2-yard gain.
2 good games going on both networks here, live on the SFL Twitch channel. We got a 4-point game, and over on the 11 Sports Network, Florida up by 3 going into the final frame as Jet Zero gets a big handoff for first down yardage out to the 32-yard line. That's his biggest run of the evening.
But see, that's what's been interesting so far with the offensive game plan for Queen City, and I would even say that St. Louis has got a very similar situation going on, to where they get these 1 yard, 2 yard, 1 yard, -3 yard, 1 yard, 9 yard, 12 yard. It's these random chunks that they're managing to find as they continue to try to wear down the defense, the front seven for St. Louis, and St. Louis attempting to do the same thing to Queen City.
Caswell going to hand it off to Jet Zero again, and he's broken loose. He's into the open field, and he'll eventually get dragged down by Nicholas Warner deep into St. Louis territory at the 41-yard line.
Oh, the momentum that Jet Zero had on this play is he laid the same shoulder into two different guys who were probably too embarrassed to want to go back into the defensive huddle right there. But wow, the momentum of the freight train, Jet Zero, on that play, absolutely fantastic run for him.
Red Bulls 19912 in the chat. You can head to twitch.tv/FTF next for the 11 Sports Network. That's where the other game is going on right now. As Caswell throws another interception. St. Louis with another turnover, and Rodney Panani with 2 interceptions in the ballgame. I can't remember the last time that a linebacker had multiple interceptions, Gabe.
Yeah, I mean, what a display right here as AJ Caswell throws his 4th pick of the game. Wow. And as you said, yeah, a linebacker with multiple interceptions in the game, we don't see that too often. But so far, Erica, I do believe as broadcasters, that has been our MO so far in season 16. Have you not seen it so far in the SFL? Well, we're happy to show it to you as once again, strange turn of events here in this football game.
The Duval boys will bring it to you as Christian Brown finds a wide open receiver, and that's Bill Koss once again with a first down catch out to the Queen City 48-yard line. Nice little shimmy shake there.
Yeah, this is, I mean, great catch by Koss. I'm still digesting, I do believe, the turn of events that has happened once again. It seems as though just as Queen City gets a drive going again, unfortunately, turn it over and wow, I mean, what a treat here, folks. This has been different.
Christian Brown setting up under center this time. Queen City stacking the box, sending the blitz. Brown is going to throw it out to the far sideline, and it's incomplete. There is a penalty marker on the play. Pass intended for Eagle Mondavi, but we'll see what the laundry is all about. And they're going to get the Corsair, or no, excuse me, they're going to get offensive holding there. Corsairs will accept. It's Cairo Martinez with the holding. And I didn't necessarily see it, Gabe, but that's going to back up St. Louis a little bit.
Yeah, I won't lie to you, Eric. I didn't see too much either myself, but unfortunately, the ref saw a little something there and threw it, and now St. Louis looking at an extra 10 yards to try to overcome here.
1st and 20 now with bunched wide receivers towards the top of the formation. Handoff to Cairo Martinez. Has a little bit of a hole. Breaks the tackler there, and he's going to make it back out to the 46-yard line. Gets the penalty yardage back and then some on the first down run.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not too upset about that. A nice job by Cairo Martinez getting 12 yards there on 1st and 20. And as you said, all of a sudden, 2nd and 8 doesn't look so bad.
No, not at all. St. Louis going back into Queen City territory, and I feel like since we're calling a Gladiators game, we might be able to use the Rick meter. I feel like the Rick meter is trending towards the Gladiators here.
I do believe you are correct, sir.
Christian Brown changing things up at the line of scrimmage. Going back under center with 7 on the play clock. Queen City showing blitz. They will back out of it. Brown going to sling it over the middle. Finds a hole in the zone defense, and that's complete. No, excuse me. They're going to call it incomplete. I thought that they completed the pass. Didn't you, Cade? That's going to be third down.
It looked like it, but on contact right there, contact was made right into the ball, which basically jettisoned it out of the possession of the receiver and right into the ground.
Well, you saw it better than me, man. I got to borrow your binoculars next time.
They are pretty high quality, sir.
You only deal with high quality, my friend. Play action for Brown. Pressure coming backside. He does get it away and incomplete. He was looking for Elsie Mondavi towards the top of the formation there on the far sideline, and it falls incomplete. And I think we're just a little bit out of Amy Shalizzi's range, so it'll have to be a punt.
Yeah, well, I'd be interested to see if they, yeah, oh yeah, we're just a tad outside of here. I would say I'd be interested to see if they try to do it or not. I like to think back to another sports team a few years back that tried a 72-yard field goal and that didn't work out. But
Yeah, yeah. We're on those same brainwave patterns, man, because Janikowski's field goal attempt just jumped into my mind.
yes,
And
every time, and what a punt! What a
another
punt!
great punt. And we've seen a couple of them here today by Graham Northrup as it's downed again at the 5-yard line of Queen City. So the Corsairs with a long way to go. Last time they were down at this end, Cade, they had themselves a lengthy drive. That was a 16-play drive that was capped off with an interception.
Yeah, I mean that's been the Achilles heel so far for Queen City in this game is they can get down into the red zone of St. Louis no problem, but when they get there, they are having a hard time making things happen.
And Jet Zero, I'm not sure what he had along the sideline. If he popped a Red Bull or had a little G Fuel, I'm not sure what he's got, but he's came out with some fire here in the second half.
Hey, listen, whenever I'm feeling like I'm down and I need a little something extra at halftime, I just have myself a hot dog and I throw a little hot sauce on it, man. A little zing in your swing.
Hey,
And perhaps that is the route that Jet Zero is taking because he is running with a full head of steam.
that's
Although
how I
he
know.
is met met in the backfield right there on that particular play by Rodney Panani, who has made a couple of really big plays in this game.
He's had a very impressive game here today. All the linebackers, honestly, have had really, really good games. Panani with 5 tackles, a sack, 2 interceptions, which is insane for an outside linebacker. As Caswell is going to hand it off to Jet Zero, who gets the first down out across to the 17-yard line of Queen City. So that will move those chains for the Corsairs.
Yeah, Eric, I got to imagine if St. Louis finds a way to pull this one off, Panani making a very strong case for MVP of this football game.
I would not be surprised to see him mentioned as player of the game. And we've still got a quarter to go for that. 90 seconds to go in this one. Caswell to throw. He's going to bomb it. Middle of the field. Caught to the 40-yard line. And that was to James Matthew Jr. And man, Caswell is getting very, very close to cracking into that top 8.
Oh, he's making it happen right here. A couple long throws to the big tight end James Matthews Jr. 6'7", 265 pounds. I mean, it's awfully hard to guard that guy, especially when you stick a linebacker on him. I mean, it's just almost like it's not even fair. You see some defenses matching up a nickel corner, and even in that instance, it just seems unfair to try to cover him.
Caswell throws it out to Teaser Powell for another gain of 10, and with that, he officially cracks into the top 8 in Simulation Football League history in passing yards. So congratulations to AJ Caswell for that career milestone.
Yeah, congratulations, AJ. A very well earned in your 9th season in the SFL. A nice milestone, and I believe that he's got several years to go under his belt. We might see him make a run even further up the ladder there.
And he celebrates by throwing it into quadruple coverage.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean that he's not thrown 4 picks already in this game. He tried to make it a 5th one right there, unfortunately, buddy. We might want to focus on maybe not doing that going forward. But we'll see if he can get that corrected. Eric, I'm thinking maybe a play action, easy pass to the outside, or maybe just go ahead and hand it to Jet Zero up the center here.
Instead, Caswell's going to throw from the gun. He's going to throw far sideline, and that is incomplete. He was looking for the logo, Chris Curtis, along the sideline. Could not quite get the foot in bounds. It's going to be 3rd down.
We've not seen a ton from Chris Curtis in this game. I mean, he's made a couple of really big plays when it mattered the most, and that's what he's always been really good at. 2 catches, targeted 5 times, but for 59 yards. He does have the 1 touchdown for 53, and then the 1 shorter. So be interested to see if they try to find a way to get him a little bit more involved.
3rd and long. Caswell going to be in trouble, and he's going to go down. It's going to be a short loss, but a sack nonetheless for the Gladiators defense. And that's going to force a punt nonetheless, as that was Tom Tanner that got in there and made the sack.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's been crazy, Eric, is it almost seems like the Gladiators defense does a bit better once they let Queen City out of the deep in their own territory. It's been interesting.
Everybody get your fours up in the chat. We got one more quarter to go. St. Louis getting the football back on the other side of the quarter. 17-13 the score. Queen City up by 4. We'll see if they can hold on for this away win in the Simulation Football League live on Twitch. Another punt by Greg Morrison looking to pin the Gladiators back deep. Fielded and brought up to about the 15-yard line. And that's where the Gladiators will take over. They'll mark them down at the 17. And Cade, this is crunch time here, my friend. You got an opportunity to take the lead. Rookie quarterback. What you got?
You know, this is a big moment right here for Christian Brown and the Gladiators offense. In this situation right here, I mean, in the perfect opportunity for him to start to be recognized as a force to be reckoned with in the SFL as a quarterback. Go down the field. Let's take some time off the clock on this drive. Let's chip away and take the lead for St. Louis. I think that's the perfect opportunity for Christian Brown.
A 1-yard carry there for Martinez makes it out to the 18-yard line. Team to begin with an impressive stat line as well. 2 sacks, 3 tackles. As Brown sets up in the gun, one running back on either side, shuffles in the pocket, gonna throw on the run. Deep ball caught.
Wow.
First down yardage out to the 44-yard line. Move those chains for St. Louis.
Yeah, fantastic throw by Christian Brown. Rolling to his left, comes back and throws the ball out on the run. And look at the touch on this as he places the ball exactly where it needs to be. Eagle Mondavi making a heck of a catch for the St. Louis Gladiators. And wow, what a heck of a play for them right there.
And look, that is not a recipe for success, my friend. If you're a right-handed quarterback, you're rolling out to your left and then throw it across your body out into the middle of the field, and somehow he made it work.
That
Carl
made it work very
Martinez,
well.
he did. Martinez with no gain there on second down. Going back to that last play, though, Cade, like you're absolutely right. He just put an impressive touch on that football, getting the first down and extending the drive.
Sure did. I mean, you know, if that's something that he can do on the regular, moving outside of the pocket, perhaps something St. Louis should look into moving forward in games is getting him throwing the football on the move.
And Brown is going to throw a completion out to the far sideline. Phil Koss with yet another grab off the play action. That's going to be a good for 9, 3rd and short coming up here.
Yeah, 7th catch of the game for the tight end Phil Koss as he gets ever closer to 60 yards on the day.
Got a tight one over on the 11 Sports Network, twitch.tv/FTF next. 10-10 ball game down in South Florida between the Kings and the Storm. If you want to catch up on that, we'll still be here on the Simulation Football League Twitch channel. Kyra Martinez bounces it to the outside, and he's going to get first down yardage out to the Queen City 42-yard line. That was looking a little dicey there, Cade.
Boy, Eric, you're not wrong. It certainly looked like he should have been tackled for about a 4-yard loss. Makes a nice move as he jukes to the left side and uses his speed to get outside and up the field for a first down.
Under 9 minutes to go here in the ball game. Gladiators driving. Christian Brown, pressure coming. He's going to throw an interception. Queen City going back the other way. And that was not what you wanted to throw. Pharaoh Reigns with the grab. And man, oh man, Cade, that was one he wanted back.
Yeah, 3rd interception of the game, unfortunately, for Christian Brown. And just the pressure, I believe, is what forced them to do it. Not something, I believe, if he's not under duress, that he does. Thought he had a receiver open and just did not see the defender coming up. Unfortunately for him, turns that one over. And between the two quarterbacks in this game so far, Eric, we're looking at 7 total interceptions.
Big yikes. Caswell to throw again. He's going to throw near sideline. Sliding grab by Chris Curtis as he slides out of bounds. 3 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown for him.
Yeah, I mean, the one big 53-yard touchdown pass to Chris Curtis was his big namesake on this game. And if Queen City wants an opportunity to try to take control, I think he's going to be a big part of that.
Caswell under center. Two backs in the backfield. Turnaround handoff to Zero. Hurdles the defender. Stiff arms another one, just lowering his shoulder and making it out to the 30-yard line. First down for Queen City.
Wow. I mean, we've talked about it over and over and over, Eric, is that the defensive line of St. Louis and the defensive line of Queen City, both of them have been fantastic in this game. And Zero has a defender at his feet as he takes the handoff, is able to make a miss, get upfield for a very nice run. And Queen City's looking at a nice set here at the St. Louis 30-yard line. First down, 8 minutes to go in this football game.
That was deserving the old Chris Berman, boop, 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 just bouncing off the defenders for the first down. Caswell almost broke an interception. Man, oh man. That was one that they wanted back. Mark Gronek had his hands on it and just couldn't quite seal the deal.
Wow. I mean, just wow. I can't imagine that he even saw him coming, but the speed of Gronek and the read on the quarterback's eyes right there very nearly took that one away.
Second down now, under 8 minutes to go here in the final quarter. Handoff to Jet Zero, bouncing around, trying to find a hole, and does, out to the 24-yard line. Gain of 6 for the Corsairs, sets up a third and manageable.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been better sledding for Jet Zero here in the second half of this football game. Going into halftime, Eric, I believe we talked about the yards per carry average being right around 2.5 yards per carry. He's now 18 attempts, 91 yards, just over 5-yard average for Jet Zero.
Yeah, more than doubled that, so kudos to him as Caswell throws an errant pass down towards the near sideline looking for Curtis. Falls incomplete, so it's going to bring up a fourth down, and we're going to see a James Troll field goal attempt here.
Yeah, for St. Louis, this is a major moral victory to try to hold them to a field goal attempt that keeps the game within one score. And they're still going to have an opportunity with about 7 minutes and change left when they get the football back.
Still plenty of opportunity for both these squads to pull away here in the final quarter in St. Louis. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and on the way, and it is through from 40 yards. James Peanut Stroll adds another one to his resume here today, and that keeps it at a one-score game.
Yeah, one score. I mean, this is... I don't mean to overemphasize this whatsoever, Eric, as I tell you this, and to the fans, this is a massive drive coming up here for St. Louis. You definitely want to get something sustained, and you cannot afford to turn the ball back over to the Queen City Corsairs.
Yeah, the rookie has got to take care of the football for sure on this next drive, as Mondavi is going to make it out to the 26-yard line. First down for the Gladiators, as we see the Storm take a 17-10 lead in the final frame down in South Florida. We'll see if they can hold on to that victory. And we'll see if Queen City can hold on to the victory here, sporting a 7-point advantage of their own with 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Christian Brown under center. 5-step drop. He's going to throw it. That's caught. Gain of 7 on the play. Phil Koss with another catch, and he's been the big-time target here today for Brown.
Oh, for sure. Christian Brown doing the smart thing and leaning on his tight end to be his primary target. Does a fantastic job right there, getting the ball to the outside, leading him, and putting it to where only Phil Koss can go get that ball. And that's what you want to see. Good, safe throw. And do not make an errant throw or an unnecessary throw on this drive.
No unnecessary risks at all, as Kyra Martinez, man, that was a short run. It was good for a first down, but man, he fought for every yard on that run.
Oh, he sure did. Yeah, hit almost as soon as he took the football and still found a way to get the ball where he needed and to get a first down for this St. Louis offense.
Hovering right around 3.5 yards per carry as he gets another one here, and he gets stood up just past the line of scrimmage by Tina Begin and Afalabi. Just a gain of a couple out to the 39. Let's go. 6 minutes to go here in St. Louis. Gladiators looking to make this 3 in a row on the Corsairs and go to 2-0 on the young season as they get a free play here. No matter, first down catch out to about midfield. They'll probably mark them at about the 49 of Queen City. So they will decline this penalty here, kid.
Yeah, nice throw. Easy decline right there as you get a few extra yards than what the penalty would have given you, and a nice first down.
So as expected, St. Louis declining the penalty, moving into Queen City territory, setting up a fresh set of downs for the Gladiators here. And man, the second half has been back and forth and back and forth. Just when we thought St. Louis was starting to get momentum, they throw it back to Queen City.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I feel like we could argue the majority of the game has been that way. Just when you think
Yeah.
one team is starting to build something or get something going, it's either a
Oh
turnover
man,
or a big play and a nice run right there once again by Cairo Martinez, who has just battled for everything that he's gotten today.
how did he get out of that at the line of scrimmage there? I'm shocked we don't have a replay. I'm going to yell at the production team later on, but man, he was stood up right at the line of scrimmage and somehow got 9 out of that.
Yeah, somehow found a way out as he snuck behind a couple of offensive linemen, got lost behind those guys, and the defense didn't catch him until about 9 yards later.
Brown finding a receiver down towards the near sideline. Eagle Mondavi has been fairly quiet today, but able to actually, no, they're going to mark him out of bounds and incompletion. I thought
Wow.
he might have gotten that foot in bounds there, Cade, and St. Louis
Yeah,
agrees.
good challenge. I think that's a good challenge. I definitely think he did. And I won't lie to you, Eric, man, I was a little nervous as the ball came back and he threw across his body to Christian Brown. And the ball just seemed to me like it hung in the air forever. And I was expecting a defender to come out of nowhere and take that one away. Maybe I've been conditioned in this game. But as you see on the replay right there, that is a completion and a good challenge right there by Andrew O'Reilly.
Yeah, not only 1, but 2 feet inbounds, which, oh, by the way, you only need 1 in this league to be counted as inbounds. So St. Louis not charged a timeout, and they will get the completion and the first down. So they will move those chains once again. St. Louis building on this drive, trying to kill as much clock as possible at this point, I would imagine, Cade.
Yeah, I have to imagine that they'd like to knock off as much as they can before they try to stick this one in the end zone.
Another free play
Oh, no!
is going to be picked off going the other way, but it's not going to matter as Queen City jumped off sides to start that off. So the Albert Begin interception will be wiped off the board and a free 5 yards for the Gladiators.
Yeah, that could have been massively costly had there not been a neutral zone infraction on that play. So Christian Brown has to be thanking his lucky stars just a little bit there.
Well, hey, that's what you want to do, though, right? You know, when you have a free play, you just look downfield, you see what you can make happen. If it ends up being picked off, it's not going to matter anyway because you got a free play.
Yeah, toss it up, man. See what happens. It can never hurt to see what's going on.
So they're going to set up shop here at the 27-yard line, 1st and 5. Brown going to throw it, blanketed covered, still caught for a first down. Man, and that's Phil Koss again with another catch. He's had a heck of a ball game for St. Louis.
Oh, absolutely fantastic game. And he's been the primary target of Christian Brown most of this game. And Brown, once again, doing a fantastic job putting the ball out there, knowing that Phil Koss has got the range to go get it.
Just outside the SFL red zone, Brown going to throw it again. He's got Koss again, and he's fighting for every yard. Second and very, very short along the far sideline out to the 11.
Yeah, kudos to Phil Koss. I'm not sure what kind of workout routine or pregame energy drink that he's having, but as you can see right here, man, deep in the fourth quarter, he's been a heavy target, got a heavy workload in this game, and he's still breaking tackles and making people pay.
Second and about a chest hair. Brown gonna throw, and he's gonna throw it all day. Defense has been giving him that play. And that's a 1st and goal for St. Louis out to the 3-yard line.
Yeah, it just seems like that was the design play once again. I mean, they love Phil Koss on this 7 to 10 yard out route that they're running, and they've run it virtually 3 plays in a row and done a fantastic job getting the football to him as St. Louis
Brown
tries to
wants it
capitalize.
again, And he's going to get it. Phil Koss into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Louis. I don't know about you, Cade, but I was watching that play the entire way, and sure enough, it's Phil Koss again.
Oh, no doubt in my mind. And it looks like they almost had him run a very similar route to what he'd capitalized on going into the last 3 plays. They just had him come back to the football a little bit towards the pylon. Fantastic job by Phil Koss getting up the field and getting into the end zone. And wow, we are an extra point away from this one being tied with 3 minutes and change left in this football game.
Still plenty of time on the clock here in this fourth quarter of action. 3:27 to go. An extra point pending here to tie the football game up. High snap and gets it away. Ends up being a 20-20 ball game here in St. Louis. We welcome those of you who watched Florida knock off the Jacksonville Kings down in South Florida, 17-10. The final score. The Duval boys in the house. Eric Vincent alongside my best friend Cade Stevens, Robert Garrett Jr., and Rochelle Colston in the stats truck here for us this evening. And man, Cade, it's been a goodie here today as you folks join us just at the right time.
Yeah, welcome in everybody. It's been a fantastic game. It has been absolutely insane and unpredictable at every turn. And here we find ourselves with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left on the clock in the football game, tied at 20. Wow. I mean, just absolutely fantastic football game. Glad we can welcome you in.
Corsairs setting up shop at the 19-yard line. All 3 timeouts to work with here. Bunch receivers towards the top of the formation. Jet Zero, the lone back. Caswell will throw into coverage and incomplete. So throwing it into double coverage, Cade, is not what you want to do in this situation. I mean, I know you want to go and retake the lead, but man, that's not the way to do it.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, Eric. And A.J. Caswell already thrown 4 interceptions in this football game. Tried to make that one number 5 and just got a little lucky as unfortunately, well, I say very fortunately for him, but unfortunately for the cornerback, Drew Really is not able to come up with that one.
He did pass Rocco Marconi for 8th all-time in SFL passing yards earlier in the ball game. So again, congratulations to him. And Caswell wants the dub now as he's tied up 20-all. His team with the football, 3:20 to go. Caswell going to throw, tipped up in the air and incomplete. That was good coverage by the corner. Drew Really once again. And 3rd down coming up for the Corsairs.
Yeah, Drew Really getting in there once again, and wow, I have to apologize to you guys, making it very known about my nervousness with what's going on here. But I mean, a fantastic job by both defenses in this football game, really putting a lot of pressure and getting those takeaways on the opposing quarterbacks. You never know what's going to happen next. What a roller coaster ride this has been so far, Eric.
Caswell quick fires, and that's going to be incomplete. Again, that was a rocket. He's had a couple of those passes here today. One ended up being picked off. That one intended for Chris Curtis, and that's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, I mean, listen, nobody's ever doubted the arm strength of A.J. Caswell, who can put some zip on this one. And Curtis, it hits him in the hands. Unfortunately, the contact made by the free safety, Geralt Winkler, just jars the ball loose, and he's not able to hold on to it. But I give the safety, Winkler, a lot of credit for putting the heat on Curtis. And Queen City having to punt this one back to a red-hot St. Louis offense.
Toss a coin to your safety.
Oh, yes. So quarterback of plenty.
Ah, yes. Good return by Mondavi. Elsie Mondavi making it out to the St. Louis 49-yard line. Good starting field position here for the Gladiators as they now have plenty of time to take the lead. They led early off a 10-yard Cairo Martinez scamper off of a turnover. And since then, it's been kind of back and forth with the Corsairs. They finally broke even here late in the fourth quarter. And we'll see if they can retake the lead on this possession here. 3:05 to go. Brown going to throw it, and he threads the needle out to the 37-yard line. That was caught by Guy Clausen. The tight ends have been that was Phil Dilivo with the catch. The tight ends have been very, very hectic here today, so I just assumed it was a tight end.
Yeah, I mean, more or less, tight end wide receiver hybrid is Dilivo most of the time. A huge target on the outside for Christian Brown is Dilivo. So I completely understand Eric in the thinking there. And this is set up very nicely for St. Louis. So they got a ton of guys in the box on the line of scrimmage. I believe that's going to be a free play.
I believe it is, as well as Mondavi is able to snag it. I don't know if he got the 5 yards on that play, so they might just take the 5-yard penalty and call it a day.
Yeah, take the 1st and 5. Absolutely.
Yep, Gladiators will take that one, and they'll move 5 yards ahead. 1st and 5 coming up. And I guess Christian Brown's hard counts has been quite effective here in the second half because we've seen quite a few of those here today.
I mean, he's done a fantastic job. I mean, that's something that we've seen since he started here. He's been working on and perfecting as we talked to him during the week. Something that he's been working to fine tune and craft since his debut with Birmingham and the SFLM, and he's done a fantastic job here today. As I believe they've gotten at least 3 neutral zone infraction or offside penalties on Queen City in this football game.
Cairo Martinez with the handoff there only gets a yard, brings up 2nd and 4 as Martinez has been struggling for every yard here today. But man, look at Phil Koss. 14 catches off of 17 targets for over 100 yards. Man, oh man.
Yeah, hot target, and we've not seen the last of him, folks. Let me go ahead and give you that spoiler alert right now.
Cairo Martinez, good spin move, and he'll make it out of the backfield for another gain of a yard as we hit the 2-minute warning at 1:58 to go. 20-20 your score here in the Gateway City to the West. This is the Simulation Football League live on 11 Sports. Third down and 3. Brown gonna hand it off to Martinez, and he's got nowhere to go. Gets stopped short of the line to gain, gets absolutely nothing as Afalabi and company make the stop, and that's gonna be another long field goal attempt here for Amy Shalizzi.
You know, Eric, I can't even say that I'm too terribly surprised that was the play call. They know what they have in the kicker, Amy Shalizzi. They believe in their defense, and they think if they can make this kick, that they can stop Queen City from scoring and take this football game.
This one from 47. She's hit from 49 and 50 today, hit from 51 last week. Letting the clock tick as much down as possible. Snaps the ball. It's a good snap. Gets the ball away, and it is through from 47 yards. St. Louis taking a 3-point advantage inside of 2 minutes to go here at home.
Wow, fantastic kick. And, listen, like I said, if this is the strategy, if this was the thought process going into that third down play, so far so good. The St. Louis's defense has given you no reason in the second half to believe that they cannot stop Queen City from scoring any sort of points on this next drive. And with 1:12 left in the game and 3 timeouts, Queen City has a lot of work ahead of them.
Ochoa going to take a knee in his own end zone. That'll bring the football out to the 20-yard line for the Corsairs. 1:10 to go here in the final quarter of play. 3 timeouts for each squad here to work with, Cade, so this game is far from over.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a lot of things can still happen right here. I mean, the quarterback play from AJ Caswell has been phenomenal at times, and at times leaving a lot to be desired. You don't know who you're going to get, but in the past, in clutch situations like this, boy, I mean, he's been known to make some plays as he throws a dart over the middle right there.
Yep, and that is caught by Ochoa as he gets first down yardage out to the 33, under a minute to go as Caswell hurries the troops to the line. Not opting to burn a timeout yet as he slings it out to Jet Zero. Corner gets out there quickly and ushers him out of bounds despite being stiff-armed into the turf, and that'll stop the clock at 49 seconds.
Yeah, big man is Jet Zero. Not the easiest to bring down. He's only 5'11", but 230 pounds, and that is a lot of frame to try to bring down. And as you saw right there, I mean, most guys who don't go low enough just end up on the turf.
Big dude for sure. Empty set here for Caswell. 3 wideouts towards the bottom of the formation. Caswell, plenty of time. Got to throw it over the middle, and it is incomplete. Couldn't quite make the reception there as that was Zachary Mingus with who was the intended receiver, is going to fall to the turf. Third down with 46 seconds to go.
Yeah, I know he's disappointed in himself. I mean, found himself in a really good situation, wide open, good quick throw from A.J. Caswell. Unfortunately, not able to come up with the football, and a massive third down here for Queen City. I imagine, Eric, it is 4-down territory.
Under center, 5 wideouts to work with. Caswell shuffles around, gonna throw and incomplete. I'm not sure what that play was, Kay, but immediately he started moving out of the pocket looking for Ochoa, and he just couldn't quite complete it.
I think there was just enough pressure from the defender. I believe the free safety, Geralt Winkler, once again in there, providing a little bit of, potential hit, I guess, on the play, scared him to dropping in the football. And this is pretty much a football game right here, folks.
Yep, ball game here. Fourth down. Caswell, short drop, gonna throw it out. It's incomplete. The St. Louis defense holds strong as Zach Holdorf knocks it down to the turf. St. Louis will have an opportunity to come out of here with a dub.
Yeah, Zach Holdorf getting in there, reading the quarterback's eyes, and immediately knocking the football away. And St. Louis, an absolutely fantastic job getting down the field. Like you said, Eric, they led very early in the game, gave up the lead, went into halftime down by 10, and a very nice rally by them. Kicked the field goal, trusting their kicker and trusting their defense. Defense came through massively. I expect to see them take a few knees right here, and this one's going to be over.
40 seconds to go here as Brown is going to throw, and he's in trouble, and he's going to get sacked. Back at the 44-yard line, Queen City burns their first time out, stops the clock at 36 seconds. I don't think that's how they wanted to draw it up.
Yeah, I am unsure of that one, but there is your SFL Season 15 sack leader, Jeff Duffy, making his presence felt for the first time in this game, which is kind of crazy to think about. 19 and a half sacks last season, as we said earlier in the game, and he had a sack in week 1, and that's his first one down to win. It almost doesn't matter too much anymore. Still not really sure about the play call there on first down.
Handoff to Martinez, who surges forward to about the Queen City 41-yard line. Queen City burning their second timeout, one more remaining. And, Kate, it's not out of the realm of possibility for Queen City to get this football back with no timeouts.
Yeah, I mean, it can still happen. And you know what? Based on the bizarre items that you and I have seen just in the first 2 weeks here of Season 16, I would not doubt something wild happened here to finish this game.
I'm waiting for it, man. I'm waiting for it. Brown's going to hand it off to Martinez. Safe call as he surges ahead a couple yards. Fourth and long coming up. Queen City out of timeouts, but with 30 seconds to go, there's a glimmer of hope here for the Corsairs offense.
Yeah, I mean, they got it. I mean, it's just probably outside of field goal range, so I expect to see a punt here. And sure enough, St. Louis is going to punt it away. And boy, this is massive.
Northrop has nailed the Corsairs offense down deep at the 5-yard line twice today. And he's looking to do it a third time, and he does. He's going to nail him down at the 6-yard line with 22 seconds to go. This is going to be a long, long drive for Queen City to even get within field goal range.
Yeah, fantastic job by Graham Northrop. I mean, I would even argue potentially a dark horse for player of the game. It doesn't show up on the stat sheet, man, but what he was able to accomplish on special teams today, absolutely fantastic.
Caswell under center, 22 seconds to go. Going to throw an out route to Deezer Powell. He makes the catch, but he stays in bounds. That's not what you want. Queen City going to move the chains, but they got to hurry. Caswell going to spike the ball with about 8 seconds to go, 9 seconds to go, and man, not getting out of bounds there, Cade. That was not what you wanted.
Yeah, that's not an ideal situation when you're trying to play a little bit of hurry-up offense here at the end of the game. And unfortunately now, I think all they've really given themselves time for to end the game is potentially another quick pass out to hopefully about the 30-yard line, and then they got to take a shot.
We'll see how it goes here with three wideouts towards the bottom of the formation. Caswell takes the low snap, pump fakes, going to throw it over the middle into traffic and incomplete. It's going to fall to the turf with 4 seconds left, and Queen City needs a miracle here.
Yeah, this is highly anticipated to be the last play of this football game, and barring something wild, folks, it looks like St. Louis is going to pull this one off.
Final play of the game, more than likely, as St. Louis faithful on their feet. Caswell in the gun with a hope and a prayer, throws it over the middle. That's caught to Chris Curtis, but too little too late as St. Louis comes from behind and secures the victory at home, moves to 2-0, and Queen City will fall to 1-1, 3 in a row here for the Gladiators against the Queen City Corsairs as we get a final look at these stats and highlights.
Wow, I mean, what a day. What a day. What a game from both sides of the football. I think the biggest story of the game, Eric, and this is no lie, is the turnovers from the quarterbacks. AJ Caswell throwing 4 interceptions in this game. Christian Brown, the rookie, throwing 3. Both of them coming in with a single touchdown. And the running game for both teams not really getting going at all. And I think that's probably what led to a little bit of the struggles through the air.
Yeah, and this was tough. You know, it was back and forth. Both defenses just gritty as all get out. Did whatever they could to keep their offenses in the game, and in the end, St. Louis just made enough plays in order to make it happen. And shoot, hats off to Amy Shalizzi, right? Nailed a 51-yarder last week. Nailed 3 40-plus yard field goal attempts here today, and one of them was the difference.
Yeah, Amy Shalizzi, as far as I'm concerned, is my player of the game. I do not believe it will show up that way, but huge shout out to Amy Shalizzi for the accomplishments between last week and this week. Absolutely fantastic effort. And I got to say, one of the biggest reasons, one of my big takeaways here in the first half, the defensive tackles for Queen City, David Tilley, Tina Begin. A huge reason why St. Louis struggled in the first half. In the second half, we didn't call their names, I don't think, one time. Great job by the offensive line of St. Louis adjusting and coming up with a game plan to try to neutralize those targets. And St. Louis, putting up points in the second half, did a great job coming away with the win.
Yeah, and it was a back and forth ball game the entire way. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Just adjustments were made, better adjustments were made by the Gladiators in order to combat that defensive front for the Corsairs. And this drive here, I think, is what did it for St. Louis. Able to capitalize on Phil Koss going on the out route 82 times it seemed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Phil Koss, I mean, there's another one right there. Absolutely phenomenal game by him, 122 yards and a touchdown in this football game. Chris Curtis with the long one, the 53-yard touchdown early for St. Louis, or I'm sorry, for Queen City. But Phil Koss, I mean, I think that's whose name we're about to see, even though several deserving members of St. Louis, and there you see it right there, 14 catches, 122 yards, a touchdown, 8.7 yards per catch. Hot target in this game for Christian Brown.
Phil Koss, your player of the game, on behalf of my best friend Kate Stevens, Robert Garrett Jr., and Rochelle Colson in the Stats Truck. I'm Eric Vinson. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. Final score 23-20 as the Gladiators come away with the victory. We will send it back to the SFL studios following this short commercial break, and we'll see what is. Stay tuned after this. Oh. All right, and we're actually not going to send it to SFL studios. Y'all take care, and we'll see you on the next slot of games.